Coruscant, the core world. Imagine modern Singapore, a sprawling metropolis full of skyscrapers, but it's engulfing the entire planet, so wherever you go, it's just skyscrapers and you get neck pain from always looking up at them, while also flying around in spaceships. Then, this is it. Welcome to Coruscant. It is the political, cultural, and economic hub of the galaxy, a place where skyscrapers reach so high that they probably scrape passing star destroyers. It's the home of the Galactic Senate, where politicians from across the galaxy gather to argue, make grand speeches, and occasionally plot the rise of a dark empire. If that wasn't enough excitement, it's also where the Jedi Temple was located before it got redecorated by Darth Vader in that chic burning rubble style. The upper levels of Coruscant are where the rich and powerful live, while the lower levels are a bit like the galaxy's basement, a dark, dangerous place filled with criminals, outcasts, and probably more than a few rancors. So remember, kids, don't take shortcuts through the underworld unless you have a good blaster at your side. Alderon was known as the jewel of the core world, and it is famous for its stunning landscapes, majestic mountains, and sparkling oceans. A peaceful planet, it was inhabited primarily by humans who valued diplomacy, education, and the arts. If Alderon were a person, it would be the one hosting charity galas while sipping on the finest Corellian wine. It was ruled by the House of Organa, with Queen Brea and Bail Organa leading the way, two figures so noble that even their tea parties were probably diplomatic events. But Alderon's beauty and culture couldn't save it from becoming a tragic footnote in the galaxy's history, as Grand Moff Tarkin decided to use it as a demonstration of the Death Star's firepower. And we all know how that went down. Let's just say, if you were planning a vacation to Alderon, you might want to consider Scarif instead. Oh wait, bad idea. Bespin is a gas giant best known for Cloud City, a floating metropolis that's part mining operation and part luxury resort. Located in the Mid-Rim, Cloud City is where Lando Calrissian, the galaxy's suavest administrator, oversees the production of Tibanna gas, which is used in blasters and starships. It's also where Lando gets to practice his favorite hobby, charming his way out of trouble. Cloud City is famous for its beautiful sunsets, its diverse population, and its unfortunate habit of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's here that Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite, Leia declares her love, and Darth Vader drops one of the biggest bombshells in cinematic history. No, Luke, I am your father. Camino is an oceanic planet where it never stops raining. Seriously, this place makes Seattle look like a desert. Located in the expansion regions, Kamino is home to the Kaminoans, a tall, slender species known for their expertise in genetic engineering and cloning. Their cities, like Tipoca City, are built on stilts above the planet's stormy seas, making it the perfect place to hide a secret army of clones. Camino gained galactic prominence when the Jedi discovered that the Kaminoans had been commissioned to create a clone army for the Republic, an army that would eventually become the backbone of the Galactic Empire. The planet's cloning facilities are state-of-the-art, producing thousands of highly skilled soldiers who all look like Jango Fett, the galaxy's most stoic bounty hunter. After the Empire took over, though, the Kaminoan cloning operations were stopped, and Tipoca City was destroyed by an orbital bombardment. Kashyyyk is the homeworld of the Wookiees, including everyone's favorite walking carpet, Chewbacca. This forested planet is covered in towering trees, some of which are kilometers high, with Wookiee villages built into the canopies. If you've ever wanted to live in a treehouse, Kashyyyk is the place for you. Just be prepared to deal with being enslaved by the Empire into work labor. The Wookiees are known for their strength, loyalty, and incredible combat skills, making them formidable allies in the fight against the Empire. During the Clone Wars, Kashyyyk becomes a key battleground, with the Wookiees teaming up with the Jedi to repel the droid armies. Unfortunately, after the rise of the Empire, many Wookiees are enslaved and forced to work in labor camps, which often ends up being the fate of Wookiees in all Star Wars media, from games like Knights of the Old Republic to Solo, a Star Wars story. Tatooine is that desert planet where nothing good ever happens. Except, the rise of the most important characters in the entire Star Wars saga. Home to both Anakin and Luke Skywalker, Tatooine is a dusty, dry world with twin suns and a climate that could make even a Sith Lord wish for a cooler robe. The locals are a hardy bunch. tough moisture farmers, surly smugglers, and let's not forget the Tusken Raiders, who like to scream at people and shoot first without any questions being asked. It's also home to the Jawas, those little scavengers who'd probably sell their own mother for the right price, as long as she was properly stripped for parts. But hey, when you live in a place where water is more valuable than gold, you've got to hustle. And then there's the Cantina in Mos Eisley, the galaxy's premier spot for a drink, a brawl, and maybe losing an arm or two if you say the wrong thing to the wrong Wookiee. If you thought Tatooine was harsh, wait until you visit Hoth. Imagine the coldest place on Earth, like Antarctica, multiply that by 1,000, and then add some wampas just to keep things interesting. This little equation gives you Hoth. This icy planet is where the Rebel Alliance set up Echo Base after turning the Death Star into space dust. It's also where Luke Skywalker had an impromptu wrestling match with a wampa and won, though not before the wampa introduced him to the fine art of being smacked into the realm of unconsciousness. The Battle of Hoth is one of the most iconic moments in Star Wars history, featuring massive AT-AT walkers lumbering across the snow like giant metallic dinosaurs, and brave rebels trying to trip them up with nothing but cable wires. It's also where Han Solo shows his softer side, by stuffing Luke into the warm insides of a tauntaun, saving his life that way. I really hope one of my friends would do the same should I end up stuck in Antarctica. When Yoda needed a place to hide from the Emperor, he didn't pick a sunny beach or a nice quiet mountain. No, he chose Dagobah, a swampy, mist-covered planet teeming with life and more strange creatures than an alien petting zoo. Dagobah's ecosystem is so rich that you could probably find a new species every time you step outside. But Dagobah isn't just about the swamps, it's also a place of deep spiritual significance. The planet is strong with the Force, and it's where Yoda trains Luke Skywalker, helping him confront his fears and learn the ways of the Jedi. Luke even finds a dark side cave here, where he has a vision of himself turning into Darth Vader. So yeah, Dagobah might be a little gross, but it's also the ultimate destination for self-discovery. Just make sure you bring some bug spray. Endor, also known as the Forest Moon of Endor, is like the galaxy's most scenic campsite. With towering trees, lush forest, and cute little Ewoks running around, it's almost too peaceful. Until you remember that it's also where the Empire built the second Death Star. The Ewoks, who look like teddy bears but fight like grizzlies, become unexpected allies to the Rebel Alliance. These little warriors take on the Empire with nothing but sticks, stones, and a whole lot of courage. Who knew that the downfall of the Galactic Empire would be aided by what amounts to an army of vicious stuffed animals? The Battle of Endor is the climax of the original Star Wars trilogy, where the Rebel Alliance and Ewoks team up to take down the Death Star's shield generator, leading to the destruction of the second Death Star and the ultimate defeat of Emperor Palpatine. It's also where Darth Vader redeems himself by saving Luke from the Emperor, proving that even the darkest of villains can have a change of heart, right before they throw an evil overlord down a reactor shaft. Naboo is like the Tuscany of the Star Wars universe. Beautiful, serene, and full of art, culture, and is the center of bad political decisions. Hint hint, Palpatine is their primary senator. This mid-rim planet is home to lush green plains, rolling hills, and cities that look like they were designed by a team of highly caffeinated Renaissance artists. The capital city of Theed is renowned for its stunning architecture, which includes majestic palaces, grand plazas, and a really, really long staircase that's great for dramatic entrances. Naboo is inhabited by both humans and the amphibious Gungans, who live in underwater cities. The two species have a bit of a rocky relationship at first, but they eventually team up to fight the Trade Federation's droid army in The Phantom Menace. Naboo is also the home planet of both Queen Padme Amidala, who makes diplomacy look glamorous, and aforementioned Emperor Palpatine, who makes everything else look terrifying. Despite its beauty and culture, Naboo has seen its fair share of conflict, from the Battle of Naboo to the rise of Palpatine, but at the end of the day, it's still the kind of place where you'd want to retire. Anakin certainly preferred it over the sandy planet. Scarif looks like a tropical paradise, with its clear blue waters, sandy beaches, and lush islands. But don't let appearances fool you. This planet is also home to one of the Empire's most important military installations, the Imperial Security Complex. It's here that the Death Star plans are stored, setting the stage for the events of Rogue One. The Battle of Scarif is a desperate and heroic mission where a group of rebels led by Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor infiltrate the complex to steal the Death Star plans. The mission is a success, but at a great cost. Scarif's surface is destroyed by the Death Star super laser, killing the heroes with it. Mandalore is a war-torn planet with a rich history and a warrior culture that makes even the toughest stormtroopers think twice. Located in the Outer Rim, Mandalore is a barren world with a landscape scarred by centuries of conflict. The Mandalorians are a proud people, known for their combat skills, advanced armor, and a warrior ethos that values honor above all else. Also, one of the rarest and most sought-after metals in the galaxy is mined here. Beskar, known to be strong enough to even deflect lightsaber blades. Mandalore has seen its share of turmoil, from civil wars to battles with the Jedi, and its history is marked by cycles of war and peace. The planet is also the origin of the Darksaber, an ancient lightsaber that symbolizes leadership among the Mandalorians. Whoever wields the Darksaber is seen as the rightful ruler of Mandalore, making it one of the most coveted weapons in the galaxy. In recent years, Mandalore has become the focus of renewed interest, thanks in part to a certain bounty hunter with a penchant for finding adorable green aliens. The planet's legacy of conflict, honor, and survival makes it one of the most compelling locations in the Star Wars universe, often serving as antagonists in different Star Wars media. Lothal is a terrestrial planet with a moderate climate and a mix of urban and rural areas. Located in the Outer Rim, Lothal might not seem like much at first glance, but it becomes a key location in the early days of the rebellion. The planet's capital city serves as the administrative and commercial hub, and its economy is driven by agriculture, mining, and manufacturing. Also, it is home to the Lothcat, which is the closest thing to a Pokemon I've seen in Star Wars. Lothal gained significance during the Galactic Empire's reign as the Empire establishes a strong presence on the planet, exploiting its resources and using it as a site for military and industrial projects. But the people of Lothal are not content to live under Imperial rule, and a resistance movement soon begins to take shape. One of Lothal's most famous inhabitants is Ezra Bridger, a young Jedi who becomes a key figure in the fight against the Empire. Alongside his mentor, Kanan Jarrus, and the rest of the Ghost crew, Ezra helps to rally the local population and coordinate efforts to sabotage Imperial operations. The liberation of Lothal is a significant victory for the Rebel Alliance, as it marked the end of Imperial occupation, as well as the presumed death of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Crate is a mineral planet located in the Outer Rim. Known for its stark white surface and the red mineral deposits beneath it, it's the place where the last few survivors of the Resistance make their stand against the First Order in an old Rebel Alliance base. The Battle of Crate is a visually stunning sequence, with the red mineral dust kicked up by the skimmers contrasting sharply against the white salt flats. It's here that Luke Skywalker makes his final stand, though not in the way anyone expected. Using the Force to project his image across the galaxy, Luke confronts Kylo Ren and buys the Resistance enough time to escape. And then he dies. Yeah, how climactic that was. I'm not being sarcastic at all. Jaku is a desert planet where the sun is always shining and the sand is always blowing in your face. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Well, that's because it's like Tatooine's scrappy little brother. Once upon a time, Jaku was the site of a massive battle between the New Republic and the remnants of the Empire, which is why it's now littered with the wreckage of Star Destroyers, TIE Fighters, and other assorted debris. It's like paradise. If your idea of paradise is digging through the trash for something valuable, as a scavenger, that is. The planet is home to Rey, the scavenger-turned-Jedi who spends her days climbing through the wreckage and her nights wondering who her parents are. Spoiler alert, it's complicated. Jaku might not have much going on for it in terms of luxury or comfort, but it's the place where Rey starts her journey to becoming one of the galaxy's greatest heroes. Plus, it's where we learn that you can, in fact, make a living selling parts of old spaceships for food. Just don't expect a gourmet meal. Exagol is the kind of place you'd expect to find in a Sith real estate catalog. Dark, stormy, and filled with ancient evil. Located in the unknown regions, the planet is secret headquarters of the Sith Eternal, a cult that really knows how to throw a terrifying party. The surface of Exagol is covered in jagged rock formations and swirling storms, making it look like the kind of place where even the weather is trying to kill you. It's also where Emperor Palpatine makes his grand return in The Rise of Skywalker, revealing that he's been hiding out here, pulling the strings of the galaxy from his dark, creepy throne. The planet's main feature is the Sith Citadel, a massive, foreboding structure where Palpatine plots his final revenge. Exagol is basically the ultimate evil lair, complete with a fleet of planet-killing Star Destroyers. Where do the Star Destroyers come from? Well, we don't know, and stop asking so many questions. Ahch-To is where Luke Skywalker decides to retire after realizing that galactic heroism is exhausting. Located in the unknown regions, this oceanic planet is home to the first Jedi Temple and a species of adorable bird-like creatures called porgs. Because even grumpy old Jedi need some cute animals to keep them company. The planet's landscape is dominated by rocky islands, towering cliffs, and crashing waves, making it the perfect place to reflect on your life choices. Or just hide from your problems. Ahch-To is also where Rey finds Luke at the end of The Force Awakens, leading to one of the most awkward first meetings in the galaxy. Yes, Rey gave him the lightsaber. Wait, what is he doing? It's also where Luke reluctantly agrees to train Rey, though he spends most of the time warning her about the dangers of the dark side and trying not to look too impressed by her natural talent. Ahch-To might be remote and desolate, but it's also the birthplace of the Jedi Order, making it one of the most significant planets in the galaxy. It certainly looks like a place I should go after making this many Star Wars videos. I'm even starting to call my girlfriend Padme. Okay, maybe Hermit Luke and me could become friends after all. The world is ending, kid. Okay, never mind.